I am Ogonna Juliet Namani. I am a Nigerian Swede living here in Sweden. I've been here for 6 years now. I am a mother of three. I'm a journalist, I'm a writer, and I do other humanitarian activities. So I married someone, a Swede, who was living here in Sweden. So I had to, of course, join my husband. It was easy for me to move. I just got married. I, of course, made my application, submitted my documents. I had my first child in Nigeria, by the way. While I was waiting for my documents to be processed, I had my first child in Nigeria. And because the father is a Swede, she automatically is a Swede. So I just applied for a Swedish passport for her in Nigeria, and it was issued. People coming to Sweden are facing a lot of challenges because of the new government since last year, September. So there has been changes in the policies. There is this particular changes they call TIDO agreement. They came up with those decisions based on some of the things going on. Their security is getting threatened. People are engaging in gang fights now, which they believe is caused by the immigrants. So they started changing the policies here, and so it's no longer business as usual. Now they interview even people who want to join their family members. You have to pass the interview, and what they do is that they use your fellow country person to checkmate you. For example, if you're in Nigeria, they use Nigerians to checkmate you. So Nigerians will interview you and give their recommendation of their opinion about you, and the immigration office would actually use that to judge you. We still have some African countries that are good, that are doing well. For example, I know I have siblings in Mauritius, and they will tell you they are doing all right. They don't want to come to Europe because they're doing all right, and that's still an African country. And yes, because of the Nigeria of today, maybe I would still choose to come abroad. But if it was the Nigeria of my time before I left Nigeria, and as at that time I had a good life, so to speak. I had a good life. I was working with a television station. I had it good, nice, So you get a kind of luxury that you won't get here, There is something about being abroad. Someone said to me recently that being abroad is a cult. It's like a cult, a cartel. And I laughed. And this person moved to this country last year, and he said, now none of us says anything. It's not as we see it. It's not as people imagine. Yes, it's an organized system. Yes, it looks so beautiful out here, but what about the quality of life? What about people being happy? What about people moving around their activities, doing the things that they love to do? You can't go to a bar, for instance, and listen to a loud music. It's very difficult here in Sweden. Until recently, until this 2023, you can't even dance in a bar in Sweden. There was a law forbidding that. So except in authorized places, specifically authorized places, you can't just go to a bar and they're playing the music and you start to move your body. No, it's not allowed. So until this 2023, so some of these things impact our well-being. That we find out that many of our Africans who come here suffer from depression or suffer from all sorts of things, because it's not the kind of life we're used to. Your neighbors don't know you. You don't know your neighbors. You're going through pains. No one to come to your help. Nobody to come to your assistance. You have children. You're on your own. You are sick. You don't even have anyone to leave your children for while you're sick. You are practically on your own here. I know some friends we're no longer close anymore. Both from my school days, from Tola, Aisha, but it's okay. I'm sure they are doing well, and I wish that sometime we may have to reconnect. And another word I would like to use this opportunity to say to Africans in Europe, to say to Africans in Sweden, Africans in different parts of the world, wherever you are, always remember, I have personally accepted racism as a human phenomenon, but always look out for your own. No one will treat your brother better. So do not be antagonistic towards your fellow African. Rather, embrace your fellow African. Treat your fellow African like your brother, like your sister. The reason is because they are all passing through. We are all passing through a lot out there. It's not easy anywhere. Let's face fact. And right now, I divide my time between work. I work part time, I school, and then I write. And I'm only now doing my language studies. I've completed my master's thanks to free education in Sweden, by the way. But I'm only now working on my language, going to language school, learning the language, the Swedish language, better, trying to be better in it. So yes, how do I write? I take my Saturdays and I run out of the house. You know, it's a private thing for me. Sometimes I just go to the library and I spend my entire Saturday in the library writing and picking a cup of coffee, scones, you know, writing. Or I go to McDonald's, I sit down, you know, I can buy fries and all that, and then they just let you write. And we have this particular McDonald's in the city where I live that's a 24 hours thing. So if I want to stay there till 2 a.m. in the middle of the night, yeah, come back. But I try to make use of my weekends as much as I can, since my husband will be home with the children. So that's how I try to cope.